case you haven't heard the news yet, we have the vitamin D3 at a very special, today's special price. It's the best value we've ever offered on Andrew's vitamin D3 product. And it's the first time in a couple of years that we bundled it with the calcium magnesium intensive care. And we'll explain that offer to you as well. So I will say this would be completely and totally sold out. This morning, if Andrew was not able to add a few extra bottles. It has been hugely, hugely popular. So we're thrilled about that. We're delighted a lot of you are discovering it for the first time. So what we have, first of all, is the vitamin D3. And you have a choice in size and you have a choice in potency. You can choose the 1250 IU or the 2500 IU. That's your first choice. And then you decide, do I want a 150? Do I want 300 caps? Do I want 600 caps? Or do I want 1200? So you can order just the vitamin D3 by itself. You choose the size of the bottle and you choose the potency. Now, if you'd like to get the bundles, and the bundles are pretty exciting. This is where you'll get the 600 caps if you choose the medium bundle. You'll get 600 capsules of the vitamin D3, and then you're going to be receiving 500 capsules of Andrew's calcium magnesium intensive care. It basically breaks down to getting it for free, and I'll show that to you in just a second. And then finally, the other choice, and this is what a lot of us have decided on tonight, because you are going to get a huge bottle, 1,200 capsules of the vitamin D3, and then you're going to be getting 1,000 capsules of the calcium magnesium intensive care. If I step over here for just a second, I'd love for you to see how this value breaks down, because it is the lowest price per capsule we have ever offered for Andrew's vitamin D3 products. So we just talked through this. Those are the singles. And then here are the bundles. If I take you down to the biggest bundle down below here, look at this. You're getting 1,200 plus 1,000. It would be $339.90. This is your last chance, final chance to order it at $149.90, reminding you that just to get the 1,200 capsules of the vitamin D3, just that by itself would be $50 more than what you're getting at $149 with the additional 1,000 capsules, this huge bottle. Boom. So you're getting that and that. This alone would be $200. You're getting both of these for under $150. So it really is
2,200 capsules.
Amazing. So generous. I mean, really the biggest value you brought to us. It's really the savings. And again, this is heavy. To get free shipping and handling, that's a lot, like you said, thousands of capsules coming your way for under $25 on FlexPay.
It's a little over 6 cents a capsule.
Gosh,
it's less than 7 cents a capsule. So just and that's on the largest bundle. Even all the large sizes, you're talking about less than a dime a capsule. So you're talking about whether you're talking about the 600 capsule supply, or whether you're talking about the 1,200 capsule supply of vitamin D3 on their own, or whether you decide to get it with the calcium magnesium intensive care, which the added calcium magnesium intensive care is only about 6 cents a capsule additional. So it's just designed to be incredibly affordable. We do this not even once a year. In fact, because of the large sizes here, that 2,500 IU vitamin D3, if you're going to take 1 capsule daily, which if you're taking one of my multivitamins, you combine that with a multivitamin, you're at 4,000. There's even a little bit of vitamin D with the calcium magnesium. So if you count the vitamin D that might come from a couple of other products I offer, you'd be between 4,000 and 5,000, which is roughly what I take every single day. So you'd really be at an ideal level of vitamin D3. What I have found from my experience, to get to a good level, a good circulating blood level of vitamin D3, if you're at your ideal weight, if you're not overweight, it'll probably be about 4,000 to 5,000 IU daily. So that 1,200 capsule supply, that's over 3 years.
Jeez.
That's 3 years actually in a couple of months of vitamin D3. And if you're sharing it with someone else, it's a year and a half. So I doubt if we'll do, in fact, I know we won't do a vitamin D3 Today Special in a year. It will be somewhere between 15 and 18 months.
Okay.
Because we have so many products this year that we didn't get a chance to do a Today Special on. Whether it's resveratrol or EGCG or things like Friendly Flora, we've done no Today Special for any of those products. So it's an opportunity for us to bring other products into the rotation, and vitamin D3 will be a Today Special in a year and a half. We'll still have great special pricing on it, but it's never as great as the opportunities we have to present on a Today Special like today.
There we go. And this is, as we said, Andrew only visits us here at HSN 4 times a year. This is the final hour. It's the final 30 minutes of our anniversary celebration with Andrew. If you are not taking vitamin D3 yet, you really probably need to be taking it. Because the truth is the majority of Americans are vitamin D deficient. And if you've had your vitamin D checked, and it's interesting because more and more doctors now are checking our vitamin D levels to make sure that they are within normal ranges. So that because the health benefits and the health detriment is just not worth it. For how affordable this supplement is and for the benefits it provides for us, we all really should be taking it. And that's just the bottom line. It is the single most important vitamin to supplement. So whichever size you'd like, I hope you will do it today. You know when you shop with HSN, you get a money-back guarantee. And guess what? We've extended the return policy till January 31st of next year. So there has never been a better time to try Andrew's products. You will certainly be able to see whether or not these don't make a huge difference for you. And if you are getting the largest bundle, I'll find out what's left here in the largest one. This is under $25 on your credit card to get it home. Under $25. So I'm assuming we're going to have all of these till the end of this presentation. I'm hoping. I know, as I said, they would be gone.
We have literally, and I was just speaking to Deborah about what we've been doing here, and I think we've added about 15 million capsules that we have to manufacture additionally to address this. So we've done it, and fortunately, because these ingredients are used in our multivitamins, and we're constantly making multivitamins, we were able to use the vitamin D3, the calcium and magnesium from our multivitamins to make sure that everyone gets to take advantage of this special 18th anniversary special pricing. And when it comes to vitamin D3, I've gone through all the research charts. I won't start dragging them out anymore. But when it comes to vitamin D3, I could find dozens and dozens and dozens of research studies that are going to talk about whether it's in America, Western society, that anywhere from, say, 50 at a minimum to 100% of the population is deficient or insufficient in vitamin D. Frankly, the levels that I think are appropriate, which are certainly above 50, and I think actually should be between 60 and 80 are ideal levels of vitamin D3 from a vitamin D3 test, that if you looked at, say, if you chose the number 60 as being the number you want to achieve, I would say that if you're not supplementing vitamin D3 significantly, more than 1,000 or 2,000 IU daily, I would say that somewhere in the neighborhood of 90 to 100% of Americans are deficient or insufficient. And I would say that very, very comfortably, that if you are not supplementing vitamin D, and you should get a vitamin D3 test, it is just as important in my mind. I would say it's actually more important than even knowing your cholesterol levels. Cholesterol levels are say, highly relevant and important to certain members of the population, but a lot less relevant to our cardiovascular risk than the folks who make those cholesterol-lowering drugs would have us believe. And it's actually quite easy to lower your cholesterol with minor dietary modifications or things like fiber and plant sterol. But that's a whole nother discussion. But when it comes to vitamin D3, ignorance is not bliss. If your doctor tells you your vitamin D levels are horribly low, that's an empowering statement. It doesn't come with any frightening news beyond. Guess what? You'll get to spend pennies a day, and it will be simple to correct because vitamin D3 is so affordable. Again, today, you're talking about 6 cents a capsule in that large size, and you're taken care of for over 3 years. 6 cents a capsule, that's, what does that come to? Not even $2 a month?
But you know what? A lot of the people in the reviews were saying that they tried other vitamin D3s. They had their vitamin D checked. It was low. They needed to take supplement. They took the supplements, and they weren't working. Right. And then they said they took yours, and it worked. Well, so I think, you know, they're not all the same. All the vitamin D out there is not the same.
In fact, a lot of the doctors, we hear this all the time, they're surprised when our vitamin D3 works as well as anything they have, including injections, at establishing the appropriate vitamin D3 level. Because I think those doctors have experience where typical products out in the marketplace don't successfully make their vitamin D3 available to the person taking it, so it doesn't achieve those healthy blood levels. Ours does. Ours is easy to swallow, it's freely available, and the reviews speak for themselves. I mean, it speaks personally. I look at my vitamin D level, Muriel's vitamin D level, my mom's, my dad's. I read it in the reviews. I get it from your letters, so I know the feedback I have, I know our product works, and the only product I will make is one that works. I have no interest in making a product that simply sells. I want a product that's going to work.
I have a dumb question. So vitamin D3, is there vitamin D1, vitamin D2? Are there other vitamin Ds? Why is it vitamin D3?
Well, there is a vitamin D2, which is ergocalciferol. And ergocalciferol, it's not used that much anymore, but it's not as bioactive, not as bioavailable. It doesn't have the benefits of the cholecalciferol, the vitamin D3. And when you get your vitamin D tested, what they're going to be looking at are your levels of something called 25-hydroxyvitamin D. So don't be misled. That's still letting you know what your vitamin D levels are, even though they're going to call it 25-hydroxyvitamin D. That's what gives you insight into whether your vitamin D supplement is giving you what you need. And unfortunately, and if you look at the way our bodies worked, if you look at our history on this planet, we used to run around not wearing a whole lot of stuff. And we were exposed to the sunlight all the time. If you look at primitive cultures that are still living in that fashion, you're going to find that they have vitamin D levels at the level we try to achieve with supplements. But today, we're spending our time inside. We go outside, we think, gosh, I can't be in the sun. That's going to damage my skin's going to wrinkle. It's all sorts of risks of things. Even we have charts here from the American Dermatologic Association saying that they don't recommend, as important as vitamin D is, they don't recommend unprotected sun exposure as a source of vitamin D. And then I'll read, I can read the other scientific charts that will talk about vitamin D is something that's very simple, very easy to do with supplementation. And it's literally pennies when we talk about how expensive CoQ10 is. 200 milligrams of CoQ10 is going to cost you almost 10 times as much as vitamin D. And that's CoQ10 having come down in price almost 1,000% over the years. So vitamin D3 is just remarkably affordable, and it has so many roles within our body, from the functioning of our brain. The highest concentration of vitamin D receptors, and those vitamin D receptors in our brain, they have a job. The highest concentration of them are found in the highest functioning areas of the brain, the areas of our brain that's involved in judgment, decision-making, creating new memories. Our muscles can't engage in muscular contraction without healthy levels of vitamin D. Beyond our muscles, our heart is a muscle. So again, our heart, as important as our heart is to constantly be contracting and doing that work it does on our behalf, again, vitamin D is absolutely essential. And the list goes on and on. Positive outlook, emotional balance, higher vitamin D levels, healthy vitamin D levels are associated with a positive outlook, a more positive outlook. Lower vitamin D levels, a less positive outlook. And when we look at the risk of falling as we get older, much higher in individuals with low vitamin D levels, much lower in individuals with healthy vitamin D levels.
Amazing. Hey, by the way, if you're getting one of the bigger bottles, and we are down the home stretch here, we have a few left in each of these choices, but if you're getting a 600 cap bottle, a 1200 cap bottle, or either of the bundles, look in the box when you get it home, you're going to get a cookbook. And the cookbook is one, I love this cookbook, so now we had an extra one. I'm going to give it to somebody. I'm going to tuck it in to make a little Christmas gift. Somebody's going to get it for Christmas. So if you already have one, share it with somebody, because the recipes are amazing. I just have to tell you that you would not know that they are, like, it's not like diet cookbook. It's like yummy, delicious, healthy, but just you should try these recipes. Everything I've made from this cookbook I absolutely love.
I'm not someone who makes cookbooks, but I'm someone who, ever since I've been making supplements for 35 years, I have said, even though I make the best supplements in the world, they have to take a back seat to a healthy diet. So I figure it's just ethical. I'm blessed that Muriel is a cordon bleu trained chef who happens to be remarkably healthy in the way she eats. So between the two of us, we're able to give you the kind of guidance that's even more important than supplements. It just, ironically, we're talking about a supplement, vitamin D, that even the healthiest diet doesn't deliver much in the way of vitamin D. In fact, the healthier your diet, the less vitamin D you get. The typical diet is probably lucky to deliver 100 or 200 or 300 IU of vitamin D daily, a really insignificant amount. And again, that's why the research and the clinical studies say that, unfortunately, we're suffering in this country from an epidemic, a pandemic, of vitamin D deficiency and insufficiency. And the thing we need to do about it is simply to deliver the vitamin D in an affordable way, in an absorbable way, and that's what we do here.
Not to belabor this, but the turkey meatloaf. Have you made this
It's
meatloaf?
unbelievable.
Meatloaf is so good.
It's remarkable.
So good.
And every recipe has a full nutrition fact panel.
Yep.
So every recipe, and I don't know of any other cookbook that does this, it has a full nutrition fact panel in terms of the calories, the carbohydrate, the fat, the protein, the fiber, the sources of nutrients in it. So it's really a full disclosure kind of a cookbook. So, and they're healthy and delicious. So, it's a great opportunity to simply breathe life into what the vitamin D is a good decision. And that's a great way to breathe life into a healthy diet as well, because supplementation is not the be-all and end-all of your good health. Your diet is, and that's really where it starts. And when it comes to vitamin D, as I've said, you don't have to get my product. You really don't. What's very, very important is that the next time you see your doctor, you get a vitamin D test. You need to know that number, and you need to take appropriate steps, because I suspect that number is not going to be what you expect, because there are no good vitamin D sources in our diet. So unless you're spending incredible amounts of time outdoors, not heavily clothed, you're not going to be synthesizing the vitamin D you need. So
not running around in a fig leaf. You're not Adam and Eve.
No more, no more fig leaves. Get arrested if you do that nowadays. Yes.
Hey, by the way, also look for the 25% off coupon in the box. This is going to save you 25% off all of Andrew's products throughout the month of December, the 1st through the 31st. So that will also be in the box when you get this home. Bottom line, we have the final few minutes. So anxious for you to try it, because we know you will love it. There are close to 1,000 perfect 5-star reviews on this vitamin D product. It is remarkable. You will see measured difference when you go back and have your vitamin D levels checked by your doctor. The peace of mind it gives you.
It's funny, if you look at the reviews, they're almost all 5-star reviews.
Exactly.
But it's...
That's what I'm saying,
But because you can't make a vitamin D product better than we do. Not only do we give you the vitamin D so your body can use it and absorb it, but the pill is tiny. So, and I know, and I make my products, I know more women than men use my products. So women have smaller throats than men. You can't make a big horse pill and expect a woman to enjoy it, no matter how important it is.
Yep.
And vitamin D, we haven't talked about it, it's critical for our skeleton. You can't absorb calcium without adequate levels of vitamin D. So it's a product that even our calcium magnesium intensive care, it's almost a perfectly rated product as well. And most people hate calcium products because they're so difficult on their stomach and so difficult to swallow. But again, we do it differently. If we can't make taking vitamins enjoyable, then I prefer not to be making vitamins. And you can do both. You can make a product that's not just effective, but it's enjoyable as well. And these two products are perfect examples of that.
And we are down to the final few hundred now in each of the choices across the board. I'm anxious for you to try it. I know you will love it if you're new to Andrew Lessman's products. Once you discover Andrew's products, it's interesting because a lot of people love to watch these shows. You learn so much. But as soon as you actually start taking them and you realize the health benefits and how much better you feel and the quality of life. You've heard me say this many, many times, but I always say that my favorite thing I personally buy from HSN are Andrew Lessman vitamins. And you know me, I love jewelry, I love clothes, makeup, the whole thing. My absolute best thing I buy from HSN are Andrew's vitamins. Because really, at the end of the day, it's how we feel. It's our quality of life. It's living healthier. And I do think what happens to a lot of us, because I'm so much healthier since I started taking these, but I think once you start doing something good for your body every day by taking these wonderful vitamins, you don't want to mess it up by eating all the things we shouldn't eat. And I still love a little treat every now and then, and I still, I'm a foodie, I love good food, but I really try to be more careful, and I think the vitamins have helped me just do everything in a much more moderate and healthy way.
I think what they always say, good action begets other good actions, begets good results. And I think that doing the things that we're talking about here, and of course vitamin D, is extremely affordable. To think that $149 investment, in terms of vitamin D, that's more than a 3-year investment. And in terms of the calcium magnesium intensive care, that could be almost a 3-year investment. So, and even if you're sharing it with someone else, we're still talking about more than a year investment. So it's extremely affordable. So we're not talking about a huge commitment financially. And say if you got that large bundle, if you don't love it, at the end of January, you could send it back for a complete refund. So there's literally a 100-day money-back guarantee to experience this product. See the difference that moving through the world with healthy vitamin D levels. And what I would recommend as well, if you don't know your vitamin D levels, you could still enjoy the Today Special pricing and then make an appointment at your doctor, get a vitamin D test. If your vitamin D levels are perfect, you can send it back. I suspect 99% of the people who try the product are not going to be sending it back, because when they get that news from their doctor, they're going to be surprised. But it's not something, as with many other things, we think, oh, it's an indication of something I've been doing badly, I don't eat well, I'm doing something wrong. When it comes to vitamin D, it's not an indication of anything you're doing wrong, because vitamin D is not something that we get from our diets. It's just only available in very, very limited amounts. The only impact that what we have personally might change our vitamin D levels. If you're overweight, it almost ensures, if you're not supplementing vitamin D, that your levels are going to be very low. If you're obese, it certainly does ensure, if you're not supplementing vitamin D, that your levels will be very low, because unfortunately, being overweight, being obese, means you have extra body fat on your body. It's, again, this is not a criticism of that, it's just the scientific analysis of it. It traps the fat, that fat traps the vitamin D, sequesters it, holds on to it, so it's not available for you. So again, it's simply the fact that if we know that, we have to respond appropriately. And getting that vitamin D test result, the most important information you can get, far more important than anything I've shared here, is just that we all ought to know, just as we know our cholesterol level, our blood sugar level, our blood pressure level, we ought to know our vitamin D level. It is just as important, and maybe even in some respects, more important.
Here we go. And I have to tell you, Pat, the producer over there, they're juggling, trying to not sell out of a size here, because we're getting so limited across the board.
We did well.
We did do well. It's so great, because I will say we knew this was going to be popular, but we had so many new customers and so many people trying it for the first time. So if you are trying vitamin D for the first time, there's never been a better day to buy it. You will not see an offer like this for over a year. It will not be a Today Special again for well over a year. It's the lowest price per capsule we've ever seen. And if you have a credit card, $25 on your credit card gets you this big bundle. It's going to get you this huge 1,000 capsules of CalMag, calcium magnesium intensive care, 1,200 capsules.
6 cents a capsule.
I know.
I need to go online and look how much it costs if you buy empty capsules. I would imagine they'd have to be, they're a few pennies each.
Right.
So what you're talking about with these products in that large bundle,
it's like
you're talking about
capsules,
6 cents
getting the
a capsule.
ingredients for free.
But that's the beauty when we do these Today Specials. It allows us to be incredibly efficient in terms of getting the raw materials and making the product for you, and doing sizes that we typically can't afford to do. So that's what a Today Special is all about. And we try to schedule them throughout the year, so you spend as little as possible enjoying the benefits of your favorite product, so your vitamin budget goes further.
That's it. That's the beauty of it. At the end of the day, you know, and it's something that once you start taking it, the peace of mind you get, and when you go to your doctor and you get those readings, it does something psychologically that also becomes this huge health benefit.
I recommend that you go to the National Institute of Health database, where they have all the research studies. Yeah. You could type in vitamin D and you'll see all the list of different things that populate, and just look at some of the studies and some of the abstracts, and you will never want to go through the world without having healthy vitamin D levels. You just won't.
It's so true. Yeah. There's things we can't even talk about.
It's, well,
seriously,
only because we don't want to position this as a
exactly.
No, we don't want to position as a drug or a medicine, because what we're really talking about here is reestablishing healthy vitamin D levels. The problem is that the norm has become unhealthy, deficient, insufficient vitamin D levels. So all we're talking about is getting us back to the norm, getting us back to healthy levels, and all the benefits that flow from that.
That's it. So yes. Hold on if you're ordering. Remember, we still have a 150, a 300, a 600, or 1,200. Those are the singles. If you don't need the calcium magnesium intensive care, you just go with your singles. I think we still have all these sizes. And then the two big bundles.
We're the last few hundred of each. We've about stretched our raw material supplies and our capsule count. We're literally going to be producing the product over the next few days.
That's great.
So we've stretched it as best we could, because we wanted to have this available till the end of the hour.
Help everybody decide one more time, because you are choosing the potency of the capsule. It's either going to be the 1250 or the 2500 IU potency. And how should people determine if they should get the 20? Most people order the 2500, just for the record. But if you're on the fence about that, we only have a few seconds left.
Typically, I'd say someone's going to want to be taking a minimum, bare minimum vitamin D is 1,000 IU. We have 1,250 here, but typically it should be more 2,000, 2,500. I take 4,000 to 5,000. That's what Colleen takes. That's what my sister takes. My mom takes. So you want to work with your doctor, see what your vitamin D blood levels are. But I would suspect in no case do you really want to have less than 2,500 IU daily of vitamin D.
All right.
But work with your doctor to establish what's proper.
Well, this was fun.
Oh, it was
this
class.
was a fantastic
Unexpected.
weekend. Thank you all so much for joining us. So we're going to maybe see you.
Maybe, yeah, I'm hoping November 9th.